They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Again, it's Henderson. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
6 yards to go here on second down. Here's Henderson, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
He just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
On 3rd down, that's Henderson, and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They go to Elliott again. A swift move and then tackled just on the other side of midfield. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the 1st down marker, and now it's 3rd down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. It's caught outright by Graham. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. The Seahawks send out their punter, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. And New York set to take the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he fires one incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Here we go!
Now back to throw. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. That goes as a gain of 36 on third down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Partner, it's not often that I expect running backs to eclipse 100 yards in back-to-back games, but he left 100 way behind last week. I think he's going to do it again. I'm expecting 150 or more.
And last week, AFC Offensive Player of the Week, so if he does what you say he might, maybe he'll get another one.
Hey, I think he's locked in.
And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. A great effort there. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Jets are able to strike for 6.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And this is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And this will go for 5 up to the 33.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit, because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that first down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here, because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And Graham's got it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They give him 17 yards that time, as that'll move the chains. Rodgers now on first down. Complete. Richardson has it. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or...
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And the Seahawks on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout. The Seahawks on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
First down carry by Elliott. Finding room to the 20. And he's brought down. He goes for 18. As the drive will continue. Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Come on, baby, get on your feet.
And out of bounds all the way down at the 2-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
They come out here in the eye. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And this is not going to do it as he's stopped at the 2-yard line. Now the Jets are going to burn another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They'll let the fullback try and take him home. And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And this offense on third down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and goal. Here's Elliott, and he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And this one's incomplete.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to fire one deep. And got his man complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As we send you down to Orlando where we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Larry. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Now it's 2nd and 7. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down.
From this vantage point, they've got the lead here. So for me, that'd be enough to go ahead and punt the football and let my defense defend the long field.
If you go for it, you don't get it, then you really put your defense in a tight spot.
Yeah, but we never know what people ultimately will decide to do here on 4th and inches.
On the sneak, Rodgers.
Now, that was a little bit longer distance than you would expect to see for a quarterback sneak. Normally, it's 4th and 1, 4th and inches, but when you get interior linemen trying to get upfield for a pass play, sometimes you can blow past them on the sneak, and it worked well for them.
They start on the ground with Elliott, and he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. A big hit. Knocked down sideways. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get 3 up to midfield.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here.
319!
And the wideout in motion. They'll try the sweep with Elliott. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with third down coming up.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with fourth down and a yard.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Give them 8 on the gain there, and it's good enough for a Seattle first. In motion is the tight end, Graham. They'll run it now out of the gun. Space to run past the 20. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Elliott running right. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. The Seahawks on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
So it's only 3 points on this opening drive of the third quarter. And even though that stretches out the lead, Charles, I think you'd have to consider this a win for the defense, no?
Couldn't agree more, Brandon. That offense got themselves in prime position to really open up this ball game, but the drive stalled out. And yeah, 3 points is very easy to get back in today's NFL.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
Four down.
it now out of the gun. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down. 17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a first down.
Well, they're certainly running the ball pretty well on this drive, and all I remember as a secondary guy was if you're making a lot of tackles in a game, that's usually not good for your defense. You've got to figure out how to keep things in front of you because you know there's 3 levels, defensive line, linebackers, and into the secondary. And if the third level is leading your team in tackles, as a general rule, things aren't going so well for your defense.
They'll run it now out of the gun, and he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
14 yards is the pickup there and a Jet first down.
Brandon, unfortunately, I've been here before. They've had 2 opportunities to stop them, so this is demoralizing. They haven't gotten it done. Now you're calling all your blitzes, all your attack defenses, but you're not worried about playing your normal position. You're going to take chances now.
Well, you said it. 2 third-down opportunities to get off the field. Couldn't do it, and the clock continues to roll. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run.
Here we go. Red 38.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And his kick here is good. And that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13-10. All right, so this one's now back within a field goal. And if anybody tells you they see how this one's going to end, I'd have to say they're probably lying, Charles.
And this game's had more twists and turns than a good mystery novel. And I have a feeling we've got a few more twists and turns in store for us before they shake hands here.
And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They'll run it now out of the gun. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So come up here on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on 1st down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. 1st down and 10 now for the offensive group. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Rodgers throwing here. Quick hitter here. It's complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 5. From the pistol, here's Elliott. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. He's going to air one out. And that is incomplete. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And the Jets are going to get the football back. So a tough pill to swallow there. A would-be touchdown pass in and out of his hands on 4th.
Sometimes it just comes down to execution, doesn't it? Because we're always questioning, should they go for it, should they not? Is it the right play call, is it not? In this situation, everything was right, except for the finish. You have to catch the ball and convert.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Room to run inside the 40. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one 28 yards on the ground. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, no, he lost the football. Unfortunately, he's able to recover himself, but the clock's still rolling here.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it. And somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. And it's a rush to the line right now for the Jets. On 3rd down. That's Henderson. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. A great play there with time running out. And the Jets have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter.
How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Seahawks. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. He's back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Jets, they continue to keep pace for that first-round bye as they move to 11-1. And they will hit the road next week. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, this could hurt.